Alright, early morning. Hopping on to do a little bit of Educational Zones Grim. Because you guys liked the last time I did this, so I figured I'd do more. So Blackbelly Grim actually has quite a few positions it can play. It's one of the better maps for it in this game. So that's pretty nice. I'm gonna choose to go right, though. Trying to burst one ahead to my teammates if they didn't notice. You can burst on the floor there to paint above you as well. This angle is really nice to poke, but don't go too far. Like you see here, I'm always making sure I have paint behind me so I can back off. Especially because my weapon doesn't paint super well when it's slow, but really need to have a backup plan. There's a bucket who actually outpokes me here, so I'm trying to be really careful. Actually got paint over there. Looking for a stacker kill, because if the bucket dies, it's really good. This will not be able to reach that. No one from left, they're all coming main. That's pretty common when they have like no time. Well, that game wasn't super educational, because I ended up not talking. But you can play the right side a ton with range. It's really, really good at controlling space. There's just a lot of ways for you to move out. And you have a ton of angles to poke with. And people have to run at you, like, pretty linearly for most weapons. Like, unless if you're a really fast one, like a shooter. I would say Blackbelly is probably, like, the best range blaster map in the game. Expo's a little annoying. I'm checking map to see if the junior is going for an early armor or not. Right now I don't see him doing it, so I might go for something really aggressive before he gets the armor. And it worked. Gonna go for the Expo since we're getting armor. I have a teammate coming with me. Poke the heavy. The junior. You want to get really good special awareness if you're gonna play range. Trying to hold top, help my heavy. I have missile, but we don't need it right now. They've only committed Baller. I'm looking to punish Baller, potentially. There's two shooters here. Just back off and hold. They can't paint all of zone because it's all coming from one side. They might use Bria to paint, they didn't, so they're gonna try to help. Two people pumped on the snipe. Use this little bit of high ground to make it awkward. I see someone coming right. Swap the armor off. Someone in zones, I can go help. Go. What I mean by, like, special awareness, like, range really can't fight if too many specials are going off at the same time. It's just way too slow, does way too little damage, etc. So, like, you can't just see top of the screen. Like, top of the screen is helpful, but you should also, like, has the junior used armor recently? Or does it look like he's painting the map? So that opening, I immediately paid attention to the junior, because if the junior painted spawn, he could get an opening armor before I could get an opening pick. And if I committed really aggressively, and they had armor, their front lines should kill me, if they do good. So, what I look for is, okay, he's not painting for an armor, so if we get an opening pick, then even if he gets an armor, it's a 4v3. And at that point, we can still push in. And luckily, one of my teammates actually pushed really aggressively with me, which is great, because stuff like the burst combos, burst combos can leave people at, like, 1 HP all the time. So it's really nice to have one person move with you, and then they just get one shot on the other team. It doesn't even matter that much the weapon they are, or a single burst bomb, it'll finish a player off, so that's really useful. Thanks, Nintendo. Next game. Maybe I'll just call this semi-educational range blaster. Okay, high power lobby, let's go. Now we get to be very educational. Okay, they have, is that classic swim? Yes, they have single armor, missile, ninja on the shot to be aware of. They are going for early special. Gonna poke the rapid since they were weak. I see Torp, so there's a Clapple looking to push. Teammate dies, I miss my shots. Shouldn't have dropped because this wasn't actually that painted. Push on the rapid was good, but I should have been a bit more careful there because the Clapple could easily just trade out my kill. Nice. Torps are not great for me to deal with, but they're even worse for a Carbon to deal with. Oh, I saw someone ninja there. Oh, they have double torp? That's great. I'm gonna missile one. I also see one over here somewhere. Okay. One thing you can do with missiles, if you see two people, but you don't missile one of them, like if they're both sharking, and you the person you don't missile will probably keep sharking thinking you didn't see them, and then you can just shoot them. Okay, that guy ran in before his armor came out. This guy has an armor trying to break it. Didn't expect him to splash down. And that Torp actually killed my G's. I thought that splash down was way too predictable, so I thought at this power lobby he just wouldn't do it. But he went for it anyway. Baller forced. I want to be careful not to get dropped on. Feel like that jump might get dropped on. There we did. Okay, we have one guy in there, so I'm trying to poke for my missile for him. We get the missile, but it's dead already. Okay. A little bit of latency, it happens. We're even, so I want to help. You always want to try to be aware of, like, if your teammates are in fights. Like, you should not be special farming if your team is in a fight, because then you're not contributing. So you always want to try to be aware of that. Another thing is our comp is, like, really slabby. We have, like, no paint. We have a roller, a machine, and a blaster. We kind of need to kill them. I'm also looking at the Clapple as the main threat because he's doing the best in their team. So here I'm actually just burst bombing for my teammates because they're all in fights. Okay, more latency, but we get the splash down. Rapid. Nice. I want to push Swift, but I'm censored, so I have to be a bit careful, because that weapon will just poke you. We're up, so they kind of have to rush anyway. Oh, I barely missed that direct. That actually might cost it. Yep. I should have just backed up and wasted his time rather than trying to force that fight anyway, because they needed to get zoned. They couldn't really afford to fight me. Gonna check under ledges especially. Yup. There you go. Yeah, he's a little bit late, but it's not too bad. Trying to dodge rapid, even with only a little bit of movement. He has dive, so I'm just trying to jump, couldn't get out. That's okay though, they kind of gave him zone to chase me. Front lines will always like sharking under ledges, that's typically where they want to go. So if I notice that, I'm going to play around it. Looking to poke the rapid, he gets a bit too far, the machine's already here. I want to torque combo them, but they know I'm here. Or burst combo, I'm not playing rapid. Okay, help that that guy died. I'm about to have missile. Okay. That's a super jump. Oh, my whole team died. Unfortunate. That's kind of my bad. I mean, that last fight was not my bad, but I should not have died to the Clapple, especially that close to zone. I actually had a lot of misplays with that Clapple just playing too close. If I kept my distance, we would have won that game. And yeah, there was also a bit of latency, like with the splashdown landing, even though he died, but that's just part of the game, so not really much you could do about that. Did good in the mid fight while we were holding, like burst bombing for the machine and stuff was good. Sturgon defending can be a bit awkward for range, though, purely just because you don't have high ground to poke, so you have to jump a bit, or take more risky positions, but there's still some good angles. Going right again, this time I see they're not going right, so I'm just going to poke them when they move forward. If they don't go to top right away, you can just completely wall them out. Hello, painful floor, please. Okay, that guy just doesn't care about me. I'm looking for charger, but be careful, it's a charger. Right's gonna drop for me. Still playing very near cover. I tend to burst combo and throw another burst just in case. You can make that jump if you need. See, whenever there's a charger, I'm always playing next to something so I can dip and cover really easily. You don't want to stay, like, exposed too much. That's how you counterplay chargers. So you see I'm just poking him and then constantly going behind a wall so he can't hit me. A lot of people have a bad mindset that if you don't have good aim, or like, if the charger has good aim more correctly, that there's nothing you can do, but that's not the case. You can just make it so the charger can't hit you, regardless if they have aim bot. Okay, I committed way too hard, so I'm dead. They were all dead, but I shouldn't have committed on the charger. Just throw a wall, and I can't break it, so that was just a bad mistake on me. I should have just let him go. That bomb rush wasn't gonna cap. Gonna burst on bar zone. Play in. He sees me. There's like 3 here. Missiles, so someone's gonna move with that. Still still gonna stay here because I can still really just annoy the crap out of that charger. There we go. I had to jump forward to get a reliable hit on that shot. Okay, they're all dead. Cool. Might go for like a left flank or something as well. Our Splatling's here. I'm just gonna burst on the wall in case he wants to go in. No, okay, he's gonna let me play left side, that's fine. There's one left, two main. The shot's gonna just fire missile. He already used, so he already knows where I am. Being a bit careful pushing this. Okay. We missed a shot, but we got two of them, so that's still really good. The shot was, like, aware I was there since he used missiles, so I didn't want to specifically go for him. I wanted to play patient and get the people from spawn who didn't know I was there. And that just staggers their whole team, so they don't have another fight.